This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of October 13th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. South Bend Venues, Parks, and Arts has been awarded the 2022 National Gold Medal Award for Excellence in Park and Recreation Management. Executive Director Aaron Perry says the award is the highest possible recognition in the industry and a reassurance that the department is on the right track.
It also recognizes the way in which we do business. And so the strategy behind how we're measuring programs, measuring their successes, how we're deciding our cost recovery strategy.
Perry says the department is wrapping up a 5-year initiative that included more than $60 million in investments in the city's shared public spaces. 6 weeks after U.S. Steel idled its number 5 tin line at the Gary Works steel mill, the company has now idled the entire tin operation at the mill indefinitely. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report about 240 workers were moved to other areas of the complex. The company says it is responding to changes in the market. The city of Bloomington is officially celebrating the reopening of the John Waldron Arts Center today. The facility, ownership of which reverted back to the city in 2021 after being used by Ivy Tech Community College, has undergone over $500,000 in repairs and renovations. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Mark your calendar for IBJ's Women of Influence event on October 27th. We'll be unveiling this year's class of Indy's most powerful and inspiring women. Join us as we celebrate their successes and reveal the triumphs and challenges that have shaped their careers. RSVP by October 20th at ibj.com/events.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Big Wigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Indiana's hospitals warn of a fragile healthcare sector easily damaged by well-meaning but overeager legislation, with the release of a recent survey documenting increasing healthcare costs for providers.
In particular, Indiana Hospital Association President Brian Tabor said federal funding for programs like Medicare and Medicaid had not kept up with cost. Inflation and supply chain shortages similarly played a role, compounded by a workforce shortage spurred by burned-out healthcare workers. But some critics see the released data as nothing more than a marketing ploy, attempting to divert monopoly-busting tactics. As lawmakers prepare for the 2023 budget writing session, healthcare costs are likely to attract action. Previously, Republican leaders have vowed to take action if the healthcare industry did not act on its own to lower prices, outlined in December 2021 letters to health insurance companies and healthcare systems. Analysis from the Rand Corporation found that Hoosiers have the 7th highest hospital cost in the nation, spending nearly 300% more than what Medicare paid for the same services. Tabor criticized the scope of the study, saying that Indiana's costs were comparable to its neighbors and the national average. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Fishers-based tech startup SpokeNote has announced a multi-year growth plan. The company, which has developed a video creation and sharing platform, says it will invest nearly $3 million to relocate from the Indiana IoT Lab to the Techway building inside the Certified Technology Park in Fishers and create 300 jobs by the end of 2026. The startup launched its first product, SpokeNote Stickers, in June and is planning for wider distribution next year. Founder and CEO John Wexler will talk more about the expansion on this weekend's edition of Inside Indiana Business Television. The Leadership in Flight Training Academy in Indianapolis is partnering with Indiana Wesleyan University to help students earn degrees while taking flight training. Lyft says the partnership allows the academy to tap into a new pool of students. Through the program, the partners say students can earn a 2-year or 4-year degree while simultaneously working toward earning their commercial pilot's license and FAA ratings. IWU Director of Aviation Programs Joe Childs said students will have a partner that can connect them to an aviation career.
One of the advantages of having a degree program is that students can access federal financial aid and other student loan products to be able to finance their flight training and their education. The other thing that it does is down the road, students and these programs will be able to enter the airlines with fewer flight hours if they have a college degree.
Childs says they hope to see the first round of students participating in the program next month and scale up next spring. Indiana attorney and dealmaker Tom Dakich is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.